Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
Your favorite podcast, it's Critical Blast.
Hey, we want to shout out to our sponsors, Daytona Beach Comic Con. If you are a fan of comic books, if you're a fan of comic book conventions, and if you like meeting comic book creators and getting comics and comic-related stuff, then you need to make your plans to attend Daytona Beach Comic Con. This year's show is September 9th and 10th. Silverline will be there, so you should make your plans to be there too. We'll see you there. If you like comics and find yourself in the Orlando, Florida area, doesn't everyone come to Orlando at some point in time to see the House of Mouse? But when you're here, you need to make it a point to visit Coliseum of Comics, especially the one on East Colonial Drive. They carry Silverline Comics, even a limited edition Coliseum of Comics version of our comics. So, when you go, be sure to ask for Silverline Comics and tell them we sent you. OCD stands for Orlando Collector Deviants. OCD, Steve and Trish. They're a family of geeks who promote geek things, particularly those around the Orlando, Florida area. They're big supporters of Silverline, and we think you should be supporters of theirs too. Go give them some love. If you are an independent comic book maker and you need to get your independent comics made, you need to look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our books, and they do a bang-up job. They're not only trusted by Silverline, but many, many independent comic book makers. Head on over to Kablam.com and see for yourself just how easy it is to have your comic printed by them. And tell them Silverline sent you.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
And I'm Scott Wakefield, host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham, where we talk about comic books and all kinds of great storytelling, sometimes with incredible guests. And we want you to join us Wednesday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you there.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline.
Hi, and welcome to the Kickstarter. We like making comics, so I'm gonna shut up talking.
Hey everybody, I'm Wes Loker. I am the writer, creator, letterer of the Silverline comic series, The Obsoletes, and we're back with issue 2. A huge thanks goes out to everyone who supported our first issue when we did our crowdfunding campaign last year, and we're excited to bring you the next installment of a 4-issue sci-fi action comedy series. If you did miss the first issue, The Obsoletes is about a group of grizzled intergalactic prospectors who are accidentally thrust 20 years into the future where they're faced with a very different reality. The world they knew is unrecognizable and their profession has changed, becoming more deadly than ever. But rather than ride off into retirement, the crew of Roughnecks sets out to prove that they're still the best in the game, even if they are a little bit obsolete. The series is full of engaging characters, plenty of sci-fi action, and a dose of humor, and a ton of heart. Now, if you did miss the original Kickstarter campaign for The Obsoletes #1, you're in luck. You can get it through this campaign as well. Myself, series artist Aaron Humphreys, inker Jose Fuentes, and colorist Haley Martin are super excited to have you. In issue 2, we ratchet things up to 11. This time around, Nox and his crew of intergalactic surveyors, who are fresh off spending 20 accidental years in hypersleep, arrive on a dangerous planet with one goal: complete an exclusive contract before Faraday and her rival group of deadly tech-savvy mercenaries. In this issue, all bets are off as both crews lie, cheat, and steal, and kill their way toward completing their objectives. Of course, complicating matters is the vicious, invasive alien species that now inhabits the target planet. I guess you could say it's just another day at the office. The Obsoletes is kind of my personal love letter to movies such as Aliens or Starship Troopers. I love sci-fi. I'm excited to present to readers a whole new exciting world, a cast of colorful characters. We're so glad you're here along for the ride with us, and we hope that you'll stay here for the remaining 2 issues of the series. Thank you for the consideration, and we can't wait to get the issue out to you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm John Drury, and welcome to my woodshop. Now, you probably didn't come here for the nickel tour. You probably came because somebody tricked you into clicking a link to find out more about Pendulum coming up from Silverline Comics. Now, I've been asked to describe the Pendulum on account of the fact I wrote and drew the thing, but it's been kind of hard to nail down. Basically, it's the story of this super smart scientist going through his midlife crisis. Not that we know anything about that. And the way he decides to deal with it is by playing chicken with death. Now, most of us would probably try to climb Mount Everest, break the land speed record, or skydive from low Earth orbit. This guy's got better ideas. He decides to take one of those clean room bunny suits, rubber boots, and a bump cap, and run out and be a costume vigilante. I think we can all agree it takes some kind of mental level super genius to come up with an idea like that. So there you have it.
Make mine Silverline. Stop making faces.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Silverline Silver Sunday on this, what is today? June the 18th, 2023.
Is it really?
It really is.
So the year is almost half over already.
It's so true. So true, almost half over. Yeah, so Tommy, was that the first time you watched the video?
Why?
I'm just asking, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
So
No.
Did you recognize?
No.
Did you recognize John Drury?
No.
No.
No,
So-
but I thought it was pretty funny that I was going to bring that up. That I have seen the video.
Okay.
I've seen the first part of it and then I stopped halfway through. So I never watched it all the way through.
Which is what most people do on Kickstarter videos.
Yeah, but it hold on a second.
Well, so I asked that only because I saw I would see you peek up. Well, hey.
So there's 3 of us tonight.
That sounds good. I'm sure Gabby's going to contribute a lot to house style.
I'm sure she will.
Yeah.
But no, when he started doing his woodworking, and all of a sudden then he cracked a beer at the end, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. When he go, I was just like, oh my gosh. He's sitting there telling us about the story and doing woodworking, and yeah. Yeah, a lot of fun. Now it's funny
I thought he was going to pull up like an arm or something, like he was chopping somebody up.
So a little bit of Silverline history for those paying attention. John Drury is he is EF Graphics. He had a partner. I forget his partner's name. Mike. His partner's name was Mike. And John and Mike were EF Graphics. They were the very first publisher of Cat and Mouse. The AF Graphics also published a book called Jazz Age Chronicles, which by no coinkydink was done by Ted Slampiak, who happens to be the inker letterer for Pendulum. Of course, then EF Graphics went out of business, and that's when we jumped over to Aircell. Well, John inked. After that, I think that was the first thing he did after EF Graphics. He inked Cat and Mouse number 4.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah,
it's 4 or 5.
It's the most drastically different one,
Yeah.
different one from
Vic
any.
should know. Is Vic on? He should tell us. He'll probably.
Vic, which issue was it? Oh, he is on. There we go. Vic says, I'm late. What's up, Vic? Welcome anyway.
Oh, you're
Happy
fired,
Father's
Vic.
Day, guys. Thanks, Vic. I'm not going to wish it back to you, Vic, because you're only 16. You better not be a father yet. Oracle 86 says, Happy Father's Day, gentlemen. Thank you so very much, Oracle. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Yes, this is a Father's Day, and Happy Father's Day to all the fathers
Father's Day
out there. Hope that you've had a good day with your family.
Yeah, we had a good morning.
Yep, we rode bikes this morning. That was a lot of fun. My legs got real wore out. And,
we were going a little faster than normal.
Okay, all right. There was something then.
Well, we guys, the other two guys that we rode with, Eric and Dave, which back all of our projects for the most part. Or Dave does, and Eric did a couple of times for sure. I knew that they would get bored if we went really slow. So I
worry about it getting bored.
It's time. I think it's time to kick your
speed
up a little bit. Yeah, you're not running into every other tree anymore.
I did have a handlebar strike today.
Oh,
it was a handlebar strike and close to. Oracle says it's Matthew. All right, Matthew, welcome. A smiley face, thumbs up. I love the way they always show the. I guess YouTube just gets the. I guess it gets the channel names. I'm not really sure how they grab the names off of there. I will remember that, Matthew, instead of calling you Oracle 86. Yeah, I had a handlebar strike, so I hit and I thought I was gonna, totally lose it, but I recovered. I was like, "Whoa, cool!"
Were you behind one of them, or you were in front of them?
I was sandwiched. I was behind Eric, but in front of Dave.
They didn't say good job recovering.
They might not have seen exactly.
No, it gets to a point where. When they realize that you don't need to be going a pat on the back. It's like,
right.
Well, you didn't wreck. They'll say something when you go flying into the bushes. But other than that, nobody generally says anything if you get a pedal strike or if you flip a tree.
Matthew, who you could send me a thanks. Happy to be here, Roland. Now I'm wondering, Matthew, what your last name is now, because I'm like, okay, wait a minute, I know about 6 different Matthews, so but I'm trying to think of who Oracle 86 would be. So
anyway, John, you'll get back to John.
So John, yeah. So John, so he inked that issue of Cat and Mouse, and then he I want to say that he did Sirens next. He did Sirens with Sid Williams, and I can't remember who inked him on that issue. May have been Ted May have inked him on that issue too. I don't remember. I have to look it up. But he did Sirens, and then he did Pendulum. And Pendulum is, now he didn't write Sirens. He only penciled Sirens. But then Pendulum, he was the writer he is the writer and the penciler. And then Ted Slapiak did the inks and the letters. So I have been. So the other thing I was going to say is he is very, very much a non-techie guy, and which is kind of funny because he's I think he's probably your age. I think he's a couple of years younger than me. I think. And so, I kind of expect.
So he's 24, 25?
Yeah.
Closer to my age?
I expect. Vic's looking for people to insult again. He says, what's the full name of the cat mouse inker? I got to insult him. Continue my strength. John Drury is his name. I don't know any fuller name than that. But
look him up. Let us know.
Yeah, he So he doesn't check. He has an email address, but he doesn't check it. He has Twitter. He's on there about once every 2 weeks. He has no Facebook. He has no
It's
Instagram.
like at the same time that he goes into town to get supplies.
Yeah,
That kind of thing.
right. Yeah.
Every couple of weeks. Okay, all right. I can respect that.
So when I reached out and asked him for a video, and he said, what do you want? So I sent him a couple of our past videos from some of the folks, and I said, this is the kind of thing I'd like if you can. He goes, I got to get my daughter to help me. So I don't know exactly what she did, but I do know that John's daughter helped him make that video. So John's daughter, if you're listening to this, thank you so much for doing that. I laughed and laughed when I first saw it. So good job.
He's talking, then all of a sudden he puts his glasses on.
And you wonder what he's doing, right? He's like, puts the little ear
wondering.
things in, put his glasses in. It's okay, all right.
And then he pops a cold one.
All right, yeah. But it's funny because it took me a minute to kind of put it all together. One of the things he says is he talks about the story just a little bit. He goes, and at the very beginning, he said, I've been asked to talk about pendulum. He goes, which makes sense since I wrote and drew the thing. And then he talks about it, right? And then he says, sounds like some full-on level genius to come up with that story. So, yeah. So it's pretty funny. So I enjoyed that. So as an update to the Kickstarter, let's see how do I
They're doing. Last time I saw it was 1,000, 2,000, 3,050, 3,020, 3,000 something.
It's 3,032.
Cool.
That's
That's
where
excellent.
we're at.
So where's our bonus things? What happened to all the bonus stuff?
It's there. Let's see here. Let me see if I can get this. Oh, I don't need that. All right, that's better. So let me see the updates right here. Here are the updates. We got stretch
Updates.
goals. Yep.
Stretch goals. That's what I'm saying.
Stretch goals at 3250. All backers are going to. This is for all backers, whether you're digital or physical, right? All backers will receive a digital copy of Wes Loker's Bug Slugger Volume 1. Bug Slugger. See, I this is one of those I look at this and I'm like, this needs some text on it. What's this about? Wes, if you're listening, dude, I love you, man, but we've lost text on covers and people look at it. So yeah, this is digital.
It does. It says Cricket Army.
Yeah, I get it. So
I don't.
All right. So which one's the Bug Slugger?
Which one's a cricket?
Is that the bug slugger? 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 Which one is the bug slugger? Those might be crickets because they look kind of evil.
Yeah. Look, he's got little
and they got antennas there. Yeah. So yeah, this is about Wes. This is one of his work, and this is for everybody. Everybody who is physical or digital, doesn't matter. Everybody would get that. And then at 3,500. We're going to do a bookmark, right? It's going to have obsoletes on one side and the pendulum on the other. And to get them all in, I got to do a little bit right there. So there you go. So you can get, we want to get to, look, I love bookmarks, right? I mean, here's some of the bookmarks that we've done in the past, right? And I think that here's another funny story, right? I'm going to tell on Tommy here in just a second. Stop screen. So
I will cut my picture. I'll cut my screen.
So I had submitted early on. I submitted a bookmark.
Wait a minute, that's not telling on me. You don't. No. I know exactly where you're going. With
As
Tommy
said,
you made up a size.
It says we never did that size. Whoop. Look at this.
We
So
didn't.
look.
You made up a size and we printed it. And then we told you, don't, that's not the size. It's not that we have never done that size.
Wait, so you're just saying I sent you the wrong size and you're like, Roland's an idiot. Let's just print it like it is.
Yeah. And then I'm noticing we even, those, the next show we do, and I'll cut them down so they match the rest of them.
No. But
How's that?
So this one's on a slightly different paper too. I love these bookmarks though. They are just they're fantastic. And I think
because we don't necessarily do one for every.
No, we don't. But and then they're all two-sided here. So yeah. So we want to get a bookmark for this. So we've got to get up to 3,500. And this one stands at 3,032. So that's $470 more, something like that. There's 43 backers, so I feel we've got room for at least another 50 backers, right? I think this can at least get to 100 backers. So,
and it's going to be mostly people getting the books, because I think most of the stuff is, well, at least I know that the things that I've inked, they're gone already. So
yeah, and I haven't updated that, but yeah, most of the pages, I think there were, last time I looked, there were two pages left. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's still a couple of original pieces left, and I want to say
get the books, you guys.
That's right. Get the books. Oh, I'm still looking at it. Y'all I've stopped sharing. So yeah, jump on over there and back that Kickstarter if you can. Help bump us up to the stretch goals. We've got 7 more days left, so it'll.
Yeah, because Roland wants more mis-trimmed bookmarks.
I do. I want more bookmarks. And by the way, y'all, here's what the.
Yeah.
See that? Yeah, and it looks good. So this was it, and these are Kickstarter exclusive, y'all. Someone asked me this the other day, and I said, no, you can only get these if you back the Kickstarter. So
we've even changed it. We've made it now so all of the stuff across the top is silver. So
yeah. But yeah, so you can only get these foil covers if you back the Kickstarter. You're still going to be able to get the comic, but foil covers. Come on, look at that.
Birdie.
Yeah.
Do you have readily available the foils from the last?
Oh, no, I do not. Dadgummit, I should have.
Scream into the other room, BJ. Grab a couple.
Yeah, I don't know if they can hear me. Hey, I'm gonna mute myself so that y'all don't hear me yell.
So while he's screaming to people, get on the Kickstarter, grab more books. Besides, I believe you can get all the rest of the stuff. So ahead and we're gonna have the looks like Cat and Mouse number 4 is close to being done.
They can't hear me. I think so. I'll be right back. I'll go get it.
All right. Yeah. So Cat and Mouse, I believe, I'm not sure what. I don't know if it's going to be the team up book with Cat and Mouse, but I think Cat and Mouse and something is going to be in the next Kickstarter. So if you need to catch up on your Cat and Mouse books, go ahead and jump on there real quick. And so you can, once you get the obsoletes or pendulum, you can do in the add-ons, you can add on whatever other books that you want. So you can get the other back stock of stuff so you can catch up, because Cat and Mouse number 4 will be available shortly, hopefully the next Kickstarter in the next month or so. And then I am inking on almost done inking Silverline Team Up. Oh, I'm back. I don't know. That wasn't me. I'm not doing anything.
I don't know that I did it. Oh, that's nice.
But the make mine Silverline. No, it's not time for that yet. No, I was talking about that I was getting close to being done with number 2, and they need to go ahead and they can for this current Kickstarter going on now, they can go ahead and get some of the back stock of stuff so they can catch up. And I was saying that Cat and Mouse number 4 is about done, and I think you said that it was going to be in the next Kickstarter, perhaps.
Cat and Mouse is absolutely the next. I'm not 100% sure what's going to go with it yet.
Yeah.
We're kind of there's a couple of projects kind of racing along, so we'll kind of see where we are maybe in a couple of weeks.
Because even if I'm done inking this, we're still way off on the coloring, so
Yes,
it's
yeah.
probably not going to be the next.
Yeah, and the thing is, Roberta is coloring both this one and Cat and Mouse.
Right,
So
and she's got to finish it. So
Yeah,
because
Cat and Mouse.
it's for sure gone.
Yes,
Get it out the door. We're done with it. Cat and
That's
Mouse,
right.
get it out of here. It's
Oh
out of here.
man, yeah. But yeah, so the pencils for that are complete. Barb, I got a message from her. She says she.
Oh, you didn't tell me that it's done.
Yeah. Number one is the pencils are done. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Four.
I'm sorry. Cat and Mouse 4. The pencils are finished.
You got to do
And
4 like this. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
Or 4. There you go. There's
4. Yeah. How do people?
I know, it's kind of weird. 1, 2.
Looks like I don't have a finger.
3.
Barb, it has
Flip somebody off of it. 4.
Yeah. So Barb has pretty much kept up with the inks as the pages have been submitted. She'll ink it, and a few days later, and she says that she should have the final page inked Monday or Tuesday, I think.
Excellent. That'd be good. I'm sure, I'm tired of hearing you moaning and going, get it out of here. Get it out of here. Let's get on with this thing.
And Roberta's got a good bit of it done, coloring already too.
Yeah,
so
we've seen her coloring it on the screen.
Yeah, she's in good shape. Vic's left a lot of messages here.
Oh, man.
He goes, I talked to Phil today and can't wait for issue 2 of White Devil. You and me both. I thought Phil was sending me files, but I don't have them. Vic says, I have Divinity Trumps one. They're nice. They're talking about the bookmarks. Yes, they're very nice. I'm a big fan of them. You can afford to print a proof when you double fund in 2 days.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, proof. I don't know why you're saying we can't afford a proof. We didn't say we couldn't afford a proof.
What does OFFORD mean?
Afford. You can afford.
That's secret for something. He's trying to sneak in something.
Vic says Cat and Mouse is like 2 pages away. So here's the fun news, right? So about that. So we just talked about Cat and Mouse issue number 4. I just got an email from another artist. We'll get him introduced. I'm trying to talk him into coming onto the streams. Who told me that he should email me, or no, he should put in the Dropbox. I'm sorry, the layouts for issue number 1 of the next volume. So I am excited about that. That's a new guy. He's fresh. I guess I can say his name is Angelo, and he is fresh out of Cuber school. So we got another QB, and he seems to be very excited about doing the work, which excites me. And so yeah. And then Jose Fuentes will be inking him, and Roberta's gonna hang around and keep coloring it. So. I'm very excited about that, and I'll give you a hint here. Shh, don't tell anybody. This is just between us, right? I'm calling this one. I'm calling it. I've got a kind of a subtitle for it. This one's called The Vipers. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Speaking of house styles, to the man that style kid off. Oh yeah, John Romita. I was gonna get to that. Yeah, Vic, you should use a typewriter and type. Keyboard.
It's like my
That's
brother.
supposed to be
when he sends
off.
me a text, I've got to decipher what he
Yeah.
writes. And then he'll write back and go, yeah, this voice to speech, voice to text doesn't
Oh,
work.
yeah.
And I'm like, why do you keep using it?
Right. Oh, yeah, kicked off. Yeah, I was like,
Kicked
what's
off.
kid off, man? Yeah. I'm saying you funded it to 200% within the 2-day period. Okay, yeah. Well, we pretty much always we'll do something like this to make sure, because Tommy puts in a lot of work on these. I will say that he puts in a lot of work on these, so we pretty much, I don't know if I can show what's inside here. This is
that's a dummy thing. That will show what's in there. That's other people's stuff. Don't look in there.
It's blank pages, some of it, right?
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there we go. This is a dummy copy, right? So this is my proof, Vic. So we want to make sure that these look good, and I think
the pendulum. Where's the pendulum one?
It's in there. I'm not going back in there to get it.
Oh, yeah, we're so prepared.
Vic says I'm a moron. All right, I'm gonna show you all these. I'm gonna go solo.
Oh, you found them. All right. Yep.
Yeah. Here we go. This is the Kickstarter. These should start going out. I think I originally said Monday, but I just discovered that Monday is a postal
It's
holiday.
non-shipping. Yeah.
Yeah. So these will probably start going out on Tuesday. And
Doesn't
and
mean
look
you
at
can't
these.
run them to the post office.
That's true. So these are not dummy copies. These are the real things, right? Here we go. Here's the Kickstarter. Here's the Kickstarter for all of you who backed. Thank you. You can look for your name in there. Yes. So there's that one, and then of course there's the Steam Patriots, which was super good. It's a cover by Quentin Bedwell, who I'm hoping is going to be coming back to us pretty soon.
Yep, and there's an example of the silver across the tip.
Yes,
we're doing the names and everything now.
Yeah, and it looks.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't do that at the start off with. We were just being silly.
I don't know either. I'm not really sure.
But now it's
cool.
Yeah,
and then this one. Oops. Okay.
Don't be finding anything wrong now.
I know, right? Now it's too late to find anything
wrong. Don't look
at
it. You can't look at it too close.
This is good as well.
That's all.
So these are going to be going out. These are going to be going out this week. So you guys start looking for them probably towards the end of the week, based on posters. So Vic says, now get the back issues and don't miss out on the Kickstarter exclusive covers this time around. Yeah, that's right. Get all the back issues, and that way when the next one comes around, you'll be able to get your own copy of the Kickstarter exclusives. We have had some really neat exclusives. You realize, Tommy, I didn't say it in the video, but this is Kickstarter number 25 for us.
That's
right.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a bunch of them. And when people talk about COVID, I say, well, COVID was pretty good for us because artists did a lot of work during COVID.
I know I'm not able to do as much as I was doing, when COVID was going on. Just busy with everything. So yeah, it's just gotten with the printing over at Kablam and stuff. I mean, 8 o'clock, whatever, and I'm not leaving until 6, 7, 8 o'clock some days. Trying to get at it, trying to get so much stuff that it's been pretty busy. And then when I get home, it's like, I don't eat anything. I don't want to look at any more comic books. I'm so done. I'm so done looking at comics.
Well, and that's it. That is one of the tough things. We can talk about that another time. But that's one of the tough things about working a full-time job, because you work your full-time job, and then when you're done with that, you still want to make comics, but you're like, man, I'm tired. I worked all day long, right? I'm pooped. And even though doing comics is fun, it's still work. I mean, I love it, but it's work.
Yeah, I should say that it's not that I made it sound like I didn't want to work on the thing. No, I just get home and I'm like, I'm tired.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I just want to eat dinner, hang out with Renee, and
watch a TV show,
and Abby, and watch some British TV show that she's watching or whatever, or some YouTube thing of what's going on at Disney, because I haven't been able to go out to the parks, because I'm just so tired, and then and then you and I have been putting in a lot of time biking on the weekend, so let's say. So get up earlier on the it's so sad. Get up earlier on the weekends than actually during the week, just to go biking. And now that because everybody knows you and I are in Florida, and so it's but I got up to 93 today. Even after all the rain. Yeah, and so we got to if we're gonna go get some exercise in, because we're old guys and we got to keep our hearts healthy.
We need that exercise, man. And did you notice we never got our 11:30 rain?
No, it didn't rain, did it?
No.
No.
And I was all last night and this morning. I watched the weather, and it was like 11:30. It's like a 90% chance of rain.
Sure was. Yeah, it didn't
And
rain, did it?
It didn't rain, and so I was like,
Nope.
when we left, I'm like, okay, well, let's this is a good time to stop. Come on home. I'll beat the rain. I got home, and I'm like,
Yeah, I mean,
took me a shower, and it's like it didn't rain.
look, I mean, you can't see that. Well, there you go. It's showing rain right now, and it's not. That's just this time of year for us. It's just like it might be raining. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, Vic says the same thing. Yeah, I get too tired to do pages, and it's summer. Yeah. All right, so Vic, the only thing here's the only thing I'll say for you in your case, okay? So one of the things that you're going to need to do, not just because you're young, but that helps a lot. But because you're at that point where
you can stay up to 4 or 5 o'clock and still get up normal.
You're still at that point where you're like, hey man, I'm working, I'm trying, I gotta, this is what I want to do. I want to make comics. I want to get in. I want to make a break. The thing about it is, you don't have the luxury to not draw. You have to draw every single day.
If you want to break in,
that's it. You don't have the luxury not to do it. And sometimes finding that time is not easy, but if you want to break in, if that's something that you want to do, you have to find the time. You have to make the time to do it. So that's where it's a little bit different for you and me and Tommy. So yeah, you've got to figure that out. Figure out how to make that time. All right, so today's topic, Tommy, is called house style. Are they important or not? And Vic's already mentioned John Romita, and we would be remiss if we didn't mention that John Romita Sr. passed this week. And it's just the timing is just kind of weird. Okay, I know what Matthew that was now. I figured it out, Oracle. I know who you are now. Glad for you to join us, Matthew, and you are welcome to ask questions, by the way, Matthew, here, as we go along. I don't know if this is your first time watching a stream. I suspect it might be, but I know I just happened to look over at my message list here to see if anyone had posted in Sunday, and I figured out who it was. So Marvel and DC had house styles for a long time. And probably when you started reading as well, Tommy, when I started reading, there was definitely a house style at Marvel, and it wasn't Jack Kirby. It was John Romita Sr. His style was the house style, and I would dare say that when people imagine Spider-Man in their head, they are probably picturing John Romita's Spider-Man.
Absolutely. That's the style that I like. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. But and DC had a style, and I will be careful not to throw too much shade DC's way, because we still got friends over at DC. Fewer and fewer as the days go by, but I still have some friends over there. But DC's style, house style, kind of in the set. I always thought DC's house style was kind of boring. The artwork. I mean, we talk about the stories and all that kind of, but their artwork was just kind of boring.
It was more all over the place, different styles of everybody. Back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, a lot of the Marvel stuff, all different books, but they all kind of had that same, look. And then, the panel layouts were kind of the same, that 9-panel thing. And but not now. Golly, there's no house style anywhere. Everybody's.
You beat me to my question.
Oh,
that's what my question is going to be. Is like, so we know Marvel and DC don't have house styles today. Does anybody have a house style today? I mean,
I have a personal house style, but no, not really. I mean, go to your comic shop and look at the rack. Just look at, most of the shops are all set up the same. Nobody's very creative. They're all the same. So you got your Marvel section, your DC section, your Image they're all the same.
Yep.
But yeah,
all
they're
of them
all
on the
just,
wall.
Yep, and yeah.
Yep. Nobody puts them on racks in the middle of the aisle. All the new ones are on the wall.
They're stacked up on the wall, and then just flip them. They all look different. Some will be cartoony, some will be more realistic, some will be all scratchy, some will be, and when you're trying to find something new to look at, you go, I just don't like the look of this. I'm just not getting it. Even though that's a book that or a character that you really love, and it's like I don't like it.
Yeah.
Some stuff.
Let's see here. Vic's got a couple questions, a couple things here. Yeah, if I can't do a page, I do at least an hour. That's great, Vic. That's exactly what you need to be doing.
Good.
Draw.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Vic. I think I've said this to you, and I think we've said it here, is that you are on the path. Just keep walking and moving forward. That's one of the things I want to
keep swimming.
I just want to encourage you, Vic. This is my way of encouraging you to just keep on keeping on, dude. He says Steve Ditko's Spidey is elegantly grotesque, but Romita brought this truly iconic beauty. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, folks that are slightly older than me and Tommy, when they think of Spider-Man, they often think of Steve Ditko, and of course, Ditko was the first artist on Spider-Man. And I see that, but that's not. And I'm not trying to, downplay any of Ditko's contributions or his artwork at all. But for me, the Spider-Man that I see, and again, I think that a lot of people see, is the Romita Senior Spider-Man.
Yeah, when you see a lot of the T-shirts and stuff, they're still using when they promote Spider-Man, you usually see his artwork.
Yeah. Or somebody that draws like him.
Right, exactly.
Which
most of us.
Our pal Steven,
has
done some. I know he's done some Spider-Man artwork for the marketing department, and that's one of the things that I know he's shown me. I think he didn't he do the McDonald's bags?
Tons of them
way back when, and that was all in. I mean, it was Steven's artwork, but it was all in that classic Romita style, and that's kind of what they're not going to put. Listen, they're not going to put Todd McFarlane's. You and I can like.
It would just, we would. I mean, I do love it, but it would just confuse people.
Yes.
Like, why does Spider-Man look all gangly and
right?
And
What's up with all the little stringy webby things?
Yeah, and all the webs flipping around with it.
Why are his hands like this?
Yeah.
Right.
That was cool as could be, but
how did he get his leg up over the back of his head?
But behind his head, it's like, how did this? Why? What?
Yeah.
And and even when you see like in the movies and stuff, a lot of the poses, like in what's his name, Tom Holland. Yeah. Some of those poses he strikes are those poses. The typical pose. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And but here's the other thing, I guess, because wasn't the who are we talking about? Golly, I just told you that today. It's like I'm forgetting people's names all of a sudden.
John Romita Sr.
They were in the bullpen. Weren't they there?
Yeah.
Well, most of them when they made corrections and they fixed things and stuff, it was him and his crew.
Romita's Raiders.
That they were. So of course, most of it looked like his stuff because they were the ones that were fixing
right.
everything.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I saw right after he passed, I can't remember who posted it on Facebook. Somebody who worked at Marvel at the time said apparently Romita Sr. was asked to make a lot of corrections to like faces.
I think. Did you see the one where it listed the books where they said that he was told to redraw every face in the books?
Yes. Yeah. Well, did you see that like the Captain America cover that he redrew Kirby's face?
Oh,
a Kirby face.
Yeah, that's gotta make some people mad.
I mean, that's Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
And you got to think, what? No way. But yeah, I saw they put the artwork side by side, Kirby's original pencils, and then I can't remember if it was inked also, but clearly it was a Kirby face. And then there was John Romita Sr. And you're like, did he really fix it that much? I mean, I love John Romita
Right.
Sr., but it's like,
Just made it more consistent, I guess.
yeah. But then there was also the comment that was that was something that he never really liked to do. He did not like doing that because he did not like drawing over other people.
No.
It was something that the editors would bring to him and say, "Hey, fix this face and make it look like Peter Parker,"
Right.
or fix this face and make it look like Steve Rogers.
Well, when they were trying to, like you were talking about with the McDonald's and all the cartoons on TV and stuff, they were trying to make everything look the same, so that way it was recognizable. So that way, you all of a sudden you don't think, Spider-Man is now Deadpool because kind of got the same outfit, right? Well, except for the webbings and stuff, but it's still the same face and the same,
yeah.
So.
Yeah. Let's see here. Vic's going wild here. Also, let's see. McFarlane draws yoga poses. Yeah,
he does.
Some yoga poses. Yeah, he got some of those. You look at it, and you're like, I don't know how's Spider-Man getting his leg up there like that.
He's just good. He
is good. I didn't realize this, Vic. I talked with Rich Parada, who was an ex-Romita Raider. That's the part I didn't know. I didn't know he was an ex-Romita Raider. And apparently Romita Sr. taught him perspective. Not a surprise. I would imagine Romita taught a lot of those people. Raiders. Yeah, a lot of good stuff. And he says, I'd rather have Romita do it than whoever covered Kirby's Superman faces. I'm not as familiar with that. Yeah. I was always a Marvel zombie, so I don't recall that. But Vic also said that let me see if I can back up here where he said this. A lot of IDW stuff have decently similar style. It did back in Ribs Day. I think that's the day. There it goes. Back in the day.
He is using speech to text.
back in Ribsay.
Back in Ribsay, yeah. Back in Ribsay, you know it, yeah. Word.
Yeah. So I don't get a whole lot of IDW books, to be honest with you. So I can't speak to that totally. I know I'm familiar with Boom, who I would easily put top 5. I don't think Boom has a house style.
No, I don't think many people do.
Well, so all right, so
stuff coming out. We're probably just happy that the books are getting out.
Right. Woohoo! Somebody finished the run.
We're trying to make sure that the same series has the same look all the way through. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You just couldn't avoid not going there. Yeah. So all right. So let's shift for a moment then, Tommy. So do you think? So I will say this: I absolutely loved this. This is that period of time in Marvel that I absolutely loved. I absolutely loved the not all of their books, but I loved a whole bunch of them during those days. And so I think the fact that Marvel had a house style helped me become a Marvel zombie, because I could look at a Marvel book or if I saw a new one come out, I had certain expectations that it's going to look kind of like this, right? And I knew there were different artists, but I was like, okay, well, it's going to look kind of like this. Whereas when I go over and bought something like, say, Ragman at DC, it looked like they went.
They threw some
right.
Yeah, it's like, okay, all right.
And so I look at that and I'm like, what? This doesn't look like the Superman book over there. They didn't kind of jive that way. So I would say, for me personally, the fact that Marvel had a house style helped make me into a Marvel zombie of the day.
Well, it kind of made the universe more solid, that everybody looked like they fit in the same space, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of those DC books that were just all over the place, but they kind of really weren't in the same space. They seemed like you were talking about Ragman and Superman and stuff. Well, I think they were supposed to be in the same timeline, but it didn't matter. They were never going to meet. So
Yeah. I love this question.
uh-oh.
And if he hangs around, I'm going to give him the right answer. He says, house style. Does Silverline have a house style? Rob Davis does. And I'm going to say, yes, Silverline has a house style. And it is Rob Davis.
There you go.
House style right there. What's up, Rob? Good to see you. Happy Father's Day to you, sir. Yeah, Silverline doesn't have a house style. I think, so, all right, so let me address this question, Tommy, or let's talk about this question.
Oh, no.
If we had the ability to create a house style, let's just say, artists and the artists were able to do it, were willing to do it. Is that something that should
Would
that
it help
happen?
sell the universe?
Yeah,
kind of
that's
the whole publishing company. As a whole. Let's come back to it. Let's circle around.
Okay, we'll circle around. Yeah.
Actually, earlier today, when I realized what the subject was going to be, I was thinking about the Silverline books and how they're just. Look at when you've got the Steam Patriot book there, which is it doesn't look like anything like what I'm inking with the. Hey, don't spoil the story.
I know. I was right. You saw the splash page there. So. Yeah.
Scott and them are going to get mad at you. Yeah, that doesn't look.
Yeah.
You know what the house style of Silverline is?
What?
Kablam printing. They all look good. There you go. That's some silver cover there.
Yeah.
I don't really think it needs to be. It would help if look at you got the Christmas book anywhere?
I do.
What are you playing with down there on the ground?
I haven't showed you my box before. I got a box down here.
I don't know what you're doing. Oh, okay. Woo! I was worried. I didn't know what you were doing.
Oh, yeah. I just put. I've got. This is how I put every Silverline comic down there, so that when I need to reference one, then I can. And see, I write office on the thing, so I don't accidentally. Yeah, it's my office copy.
That's a good representation of the fact that we don't have a house style. Or
yes,
Silverline doesn't
it
have
is.
a house style.
Yeah, very much so. And then of course here's.
I'm thinking that can a house style be the fact that all the books are
here's Rob
where that you're trying to, even though it's you're hands on about editing people's stuff to try to keep it coherent and stuff. Structurally the stories are solid.
Yeah,
can that be a house style? I think it can be. To make
as
sure
that
story
wise.
Well, no, not stories so much, but as to make sure that the stories are wackadoodle, kind of nutty, where they don't make any sense whatsoever. That they're solid stories is what I'm trying.
Yeah.
So, even though they don't all the art doesn't look the same, at least the stories are solid. They're not just nutty because. We've let it know that I'm co-owner of Kablam, so I see tons of books and I flip through stuff and it's like, oh, this is just nuts. I can't tell what's going on.
Yeah,
and all this stuff.
Yeah. And I don't like to call out names because I love the independent. I love the independent market a lot. But I read a lot of independent comics and sometimes I read them and I'm like,
they needed an editor.
Yes, it's like someone should have told you. And I think and I'm going to blame a lot of the writers for this. It's like some of these writers need to say, "Hey, look, I need someone to help whip my story into shape." And I think a lot of independent writers are not willing to do that, and I don't know why, but I think they're not willing to do that because for me, the problem is as I read them and I'm like, it had such potential, or either I read one the other day, and I'm like, I have no idea what I just read. And you know what's even harder, Tommy? Is what's harder is when there are people that I like.
Yeah.
They come up to, hey, Roland, I want you to read this book and give me your opinion. I'm like, oh, please don't. Just tell me to read the book and enjoy it, please. Don't tell me to read it and give you my opinion.
Can I just look at it? I don't want to read it because I don't want to have to be able to tell you what happened in it. Because sometimes you get a lot of rambling on and stuff.
Yeah.
That's it. Uh-oh.
No, I love this. I love this comment from Rob Davis. Rob says, I think the house style is clear storytelling.
Yep.
And I love that.
You're keeping the train going in the in the right direction without it splitting off and going nuts everywhere. Because we could us people that didn't study writing like you smart people that went to writing school and stuff and all that all that kind of stuff. We're just telling stories that we think is fun, and then we don't half the time we're just it's crazy. You go back and look at it, you're like, what am I drawing? I just drew 5 pages of something that didn't even have to be in this book. What is this? Well, I'm putting it in there because I drew it. I'm putting it's going.
Well, and of course, that's the thing is that that is the thing that writers should be trained to do, even if it's not formal training. They should be trained to do that in the same way that artists are the ones that are trained to visually tell that story. We got to have that Z pattern in comics, and you got to have that movement, right? That's the thing that artists should be bringing, right?
Moving your eye to the next page.
That's right. Yeah. From the one panel to the Mitch Breitweiser did a really neat, and I got the video somewhere with his permission. I clipped it, but he did a really neat on Butch Geis did one of his comics. I can't remember which one it was. And he just took a page and he said, look, here's how Mitch here's how Mitch did this about Butch Geis. He goes, here's how he moves your eye visually, right? And it's sometimes it's just a hand, right? My hand, if we're panels, right? My hand is doing this. What happens is your eyeball looks at me and then it looks at my hand and it goes over to you, right? Whoops, over to you, right? And it's just small things like that. The direction that the characters look, right? They look a direction. This moves the reader's eye. These are little things that writers don't know.
No.
Most writers don't know. I mean, editors.
Well, we're supposed
know
to.
That.
The art team's supposed to draw what it is that you're trying to convey, but we're supposed to keep it moving.
Yeah.
keep the eyeball. You don't want people to. You're never supposed to go backwards.
Right.
Yeah.
And that happens, I think, a lot.
Oh, I see it a lot. Yeah. You see it a lot. Yeah. And then it's, I've done it actually on that cover before we print it, the cover that I did for Obsoletes. I think it might look better if we flip it the other direction. Yeah. We'll have to see.
Okay. All right.
Because it's one of those things. I drew it. And I'm like, yeah, that looks cool. And then I inked it. I'm like, yeah, that's backwards. What did I draw?
Yeah.
So,
it happens.
We'll see when it gets that far.
Pops says, "Happy Father's Day, gents. Happy Father's Day, Pops." I love this comment from Rob. So true.
Oh, that's true. And you see that every now and again. You see people, whenever it gets to the point where you even see it in Marvel every now and again, where it just got the page got so so screwed up where they have to go here, go backwards. It's going around this way, and then go back this way.
Yeah,
so you can read the story because everything got messed up. And then we drew it. It's like we're not redrawing it. You can have
right, and so we're putting the arrows in because we're not going to redraw it. Yeah.
You see, you do see that from time to time.
Oh my goodness, I see.
I think more lately people just leave it messed up, but back in the day you used to see it a lot. I think.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and I think they leave it messed up, and so what happens is you start trying to read it, and you're like, where do I go? Right. Nope. And one of the worst ones is. And
it could be as much as when I was laying over people's arms sticking outside the panel, and all of a sudden the panel, whatever it is that you're trying to do goes back a panel and it's
Right.
down the wrong side, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden it's like, oh, you just hooked the panel from before, and it's
Yep.
supposed to go this way, and you're jerk the eye back the other direction.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Anytime you have, and I love it when the art will overlap another panel.
Yeah.
But it's got to do it in a way that it. That
you can't mess it up.
You move
Right.
your eye where your eye's supposed to go, not in the opposite direction.
Right.
And I see that a lot. You know, they'll take an image and pop it over the top, and of course what happens is your eye goes woo all down the wrong side. And they're like, oh look, I just skipped these 3 panels right here.
Right. Or you'll get a big page where you got a big character that's on the I guess it would be on the left hand side of the page. That's a big character, and then you got these things and it's supposed to go back and forth, and you're like, that big character you drew just messed up the whole layout of the panel. The whole page is messed up. It looks cool as could be, but you just messed up the whole layout.
So Jim Lee could do it, right? And it's not unusual.
I'm going to start drawing the characters where they're pointing to the next panel. Go this way. Go this way.
Go here.
No, go back up. Yeah, the characters are pointing to it. I'm going to do that. I'll do it.
Yeah, of course. And they're all talking, right?
Yeah.
They're talking like this, but they're pointing in the direction that they should go.
I think we should go, that way.
Well, it's funny because
I'm going to do that.
At Malibu, there was a writer that would submit stories, and there was an editor who shall remain nameless, who would say that, oh, I just read this writer's story, and it's one of those situations. Hey, look, the story goes that way. Right. So writers can do it too, right? Writers can kind of do that on the nose. There goes the story, right? You're absolutely right, Rob. That's one of these things that
sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Sponsored by Coca-Cola. I actually cheated today. I have some Coca-Cola too. Yeah. For those who don't know, I'm trying a new diet. I'm trying a carnivore diet. So far so good. I get to eat meat. It's like, okay. Vic says those Golden Age books, which makes me want to rip the book in half. Yeah, because they had they did a lot of that. Yeah.
Well, you need to rip them in half so you can put the panels in the right places.
Right. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
When breaking
the panel border.
When breaking the panel doesn't help the storytelling, it's fine. But if it's damaging the storytelling, change it. Don't be a stubborn jerk. Yeah.
Yeah, you see a lot of people do it because it's cool.
Well, yeah, and so some of this, I think, right? Some of this is just inexperience in storytelling, right?
Yeah.
You have when you first get started, you just want to draw everything just because it's cool, right?
Yeah.
And you don't always take storytelling into consideration. You should, right? That should be consideration number one, right? Is the story. Tell the panels, the art needs to service the story. It can still be cool, but it needs to service the story. And when you're first getting started, you don't always make those considerations, right? So some of it just takes experience and mileage, and to figure out, hey, that looked pretty cool, but it just didn't work, and it can look cool. I'm not saying that it won't or they can't, but it didn't work because it moves the readers in a different eye, and it moves the reader's eye in a different direction, and that's the last thing that you want to do. Yeah, I love what Rob said too earlier about Silverline's house style is solid storytelling.
I think so.
Yeah,
and that is a house style.
Yeah.
There's a lot of publishers that the books, there's just too many weird books that nothing has anything to do with the other. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. I can't think of any. So Vic said something. I don't know if I put it on the screen, and he's already scrolled off. He said something about some of the smaller publishers have a house style. Who might you be talking about? Vic, if you can think of any of those right off the top of your head. Here's Rob says, I got better as I progressed in my career, but I got a lot of editorial input at convention portfolio reviews. Yeah. And you guys have heard me say this before, and we are not in any form or fashion exclusive to the Kubert school people. But one of the reasons that I like and I enjoy working with Kubert school folks is that they are trained, and they don't always get it right. It's particularly these young guys coming out. They do need mileage, right? They'd like anybody else. They have the learning, but they got to get the mileage in, right?
Just because you went to college doesn't mean that you can build bridges.
Well, also, I thought you would go there. Just because you went to college doesn't mean you got the knowledge, right?
That is so true.
I do like working with them because many of them do. They come out with a fairly grounded in the storytelling aspect of it, right? And so again, a lot of times I'll see their artwork and I'll just say, a lot of potential here, good storytelling. This is one of the things I look for. Good storytelling. They just need miles. They just need pages, right? And this is also one of the things I think that I think Vic gets this. I honestly do. Vic seems to be on that path of I'm just going to keep knocking these pages out, and eventually I'm going to get there. And I think that has to be the mindset when you want to break in. Is like, look, one of these days you're gonna, you're climbing up that hill, and one of these days you're gonna go, dude, I figured it out, right? And that's what it is. And I think for a lot of the Kubert School folks, they got that knowledge. They just need more pages, right? So Vic says Big Bang and AC Comics. Oh, AC Comics absolutely does have a house style. Good call, Vic. Good call. We get to see a lot of that. You guys print some of their stuff too, don't you?
The AC stuff?
Bill Black?
Yes, every now and again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to mention, and I feel I always pronounce his last name wrong. Rick
Obadiah. No, not Obadiah. Shoot. Why did I want to say Obadiah? That was holy crap. That was the first comics editor. I know who you're talking about. His name is the tip of my tongue. I know exactly who they're talking about.
Yeah, his name is longer than mine.
Offenberger.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got kind of a house style. When every now and again they've got a book that they'll do something funky in, but they've got pretty much a house style.
Yeah, they've got that guy with the unfortunate last name Monsanto, whose work I like a lot.
Yeah.
You know about Monsanto, right? The poison company.
The poison company.
You ever heard of Roundup?
Yeah. Oh, that's causing cancer stuff.
Monsanto. No, there's a lot more. We won't go into that tonight. There's a lot more into
allegedly
Monsanto. These guys own DNA. They own the trademark and copyright to DNA for plants. Yeah. Oh, anyway, that's why I said he's got the unfortunate last name. I like his art. This guy named Monsanto. I don't know him. Never met him. Never seen him do anything other than
stuff for Rick.
Yeah. Shoot. What is the name of their company? G-Man Comics. G-Man Comics. Yeah. Yeah. So they've got a bit of a house style. Those are good call. That's a good call, Vic. I don't
Dennis
know
Maloney's group, even though he reprints a lot of older stuff, but it's his new stuff still. They keep the Champions house style.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool.
They pretty much all the books kind of have that same look.
Yeah. Here's a good observation from Rob. He says there are not as many editors going to comics conventions anymore. So head for Artist Alley and show stuff to artists whose work you admire and like. I agree. Yeah, that's one of the things. Tommy and I both. I've heard say, hey, take your portfolio to the guy next door. I'll look at it. I'll give you some comments, but take it to the guy next door. Somebody you like.
If you want
and get some feedback, right?
Yeah, and Rob will be at a show coming up pretty soon here, and he wants to see your stuff.
That's right. Rob will be happy to look at your stuff. I have. Oh, this is last year.
There it is.
No.
This year.
Wait, what year is this? 2023. This is it. Yeah. This is it. Yeah. Daytona Beach Comic Book Convention. Rob will be
1700s
there.
or something. I don't know what it is anymore.
Yeah, it is 2023. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So there you go. There's your dates. September
What's
9th
the
and
day?
10th.
Oh, it's Sunday.
And Rob will be here making his. Rob, is this your first Florida appearance? Well, if it is, we need to know that. Certainly your first Daytona Comic Con appearance, but is this your first Florida appearance? We will push it like that. Yeah, I think that's one of the things that you have to do as artist is when you're starting off, it certainly is go get feedback. And you're going to run into the jerk. You just are. Just politely listen to what they have to say. I mean, I've heard I've heard stories of people talking about people told me never don't give up drawing and take a go work at a gas station. Who was it? Was that one of our team? I think said, was that Jose said that? I can't remember, but yeah.
Go back to the hamburger place. You're never gonna.
Yeah, right. Go back to flipping burgers. You're not gonna.
You just gotta take what everybody says, and then what I always did was, and I showed stuff for, to everybody when I was first breaking in. It's like, some people are just mean, and and some people are just, are just jealous, and I don't mean that in a way because. There's a lot of people trying to break in think that they're already there, and they're not.
Right.
So don't think that somebody's just being mean to you because they're jealous of your stuff. But there's, take everything that people say and then and go, yeah, I like that part. This is kind of stupid, but I like this, and then take all the stuff that you can and make yourself better.
Absolutely,
a artist out of it.
Yeah. Well, and if you can get multiple feedback, right? Look for the common threads, right?
Right.
Look for if everyone says you need to study your anatomy, well, then you probably need to study your anatomy, right?
But that's my style.
Right? No, yeah, no, it's not.
You hear that a lot. That's my style, and I'm like, your style because you can't. Is this supposed to be a person? What kind of style is this?
My style.
That's my. You know what I'm talking about.
I do. I've heard it before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob says he and his wife were planning
to do your own book. That's fine. You
right.
can have that style. That's perfectly fine. And companies like Kablam will print your book. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to draw Spider-Man, you got to at least be able to draw like. It's got to look like a Spider-Man book.
Probably pretty good if you could draw like John Romita Sr. Right? I mean, let's just put it as what it is, right?
If you want to be the amazing Spider-Man artist, you can't draw you can't draw every character like these little guys that I have cartoony guys back here because they're not going to publish this. They're not going to hire you to draw Spider-Man if that's the way that you want to draw because that's my style. Well, that's my fun style. I love drawing like that, but it's like I'm not going to be drawing Spider-Man like that. That'd be kind of fun though.
That would be cool. I
can print my own books.
Yes, you could. Just duck whenever Marvel comes around.
I'll put them on your desk.
Right? Yeah. I don't know what those are.
Silverline logo across the top.
Yeah. Rob says he and his wife are planning their trip to Daytona this afternoon, and it is indeed his first Florida appearance.
Yay!
The closest he's been was to Georgia a couple times, so we'll actually make sure we promote it like that, Rob. It's your first appearance, so hopefully everybody in a drivable range will get their comics that you've done and bring them to you. Vic says, looks like I'm not going to make it to Daytona, sadly. Vic, he's
been around for a little bit. He's got some books.
Got some books. Bring your Star Trek books. Bring your Scimitar books. Bring your Twilight Grims. Better yet, pick up Twilight Grims from him at the show.
Because you can get, we'll have probably some Daytona versions.
Yep. Most likely we'll do
exclusive for the show.
Yes. Yeah.
We do. I don't know if you do it every time, but there's been times where we've had exclusive.
Yeah, we've done it 2 or 3 times now, I think. Yeah. Vic says I got disrespected by a classic Archie style artist. Again, you got to just roll with it.
What did Stephen Butler tell you?
Yeah,
he draws Archie stuff too.
He does, yeah. Rob says, I've ticked off a few artists along the way because they expected me to just say, you're ready.
You're
And I
ready.
told them what they needed to hear. Here's, if you want feedback, don't get mad when they don't tell you, when they give you honest feedback, don't get mad at them, right? I mean,
Well, we've said it on here, and I think most of us do it this way. Whenever we get some stuff, somebody throw their portfolio, and you go, you get that look. No, you always try to. I always try to, and some people do like a 1-in-1, but I always try to point out 2 things that I think is really cool. Even if I'm stretching it a little bit, and then the try to get and then the one glaring thing that might get them past that next step, and and say, I really like your perspective, or I really like the way that you did this background, but this jacked up hand you drew, maybe you can work on hands for the next time. Your hands can be a little better or something. Try to work on that.
Yeah.
And so that way you're just not slamming people, because nobody wants to hear that. And then, I didn't want to hear it. Nobody else wants to hear it. You want to make sure that you're, we're because we're all getting older. We're going to die. We need people to draw comics once we're gone. So we don't want to run everybody off. So, I did notice. Oh, which side is it? I've got my main character. I got a character here where his boobies are in here. I got to change this.
I see that.
Yeah.
he just doesn't have a shirt on, right?
That's Kung Fu Kenny, by the way.
Yeah.
Let me move there. There.
Yeah. It's so funny. Tommy will appreciate this reference, Rob. As Neil Adams said, how can you not draw hands right? There's one at the end of your arm for reference.
I know. It's not that it didn't draw it right. It's just not the way that Pete wanted it drew. And I'm just like, Pete, you should have drew it the way you wanted it if you wanted it drawn the way that you did it. Don't be blaming me, Mr. Pete. Where are you, by the way, Pete?
Where is Pete?
He made it sound like they went to a water park or something today. So maybe they're just.
Oh, did they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he posted some pictures of them at a lake or something.
Oh, I didn't see those.
He's sleeping.
He's probably sleeping. Yeah. It's
weird. He
is.
In another time zone.
Yeah, it is
on
like
another planet someplace.
AM for him there, I think. Yeah. Vic says Pete should have drawn it in the first place. Yeah, it's true. He that was just so funny though. He left out a line and and it's like
he sent a picture. Draw this.
Draw
this. That's what I drew.
It's like, what is it? Here's a picture.
I'm gonna give you a picture.
That was pretty funny. So kind of boil it down, summarize it. Not many people do house styles anymore, but we tend to think they're not a terrible idea, right?
Okay. Let's back it up. Okay, house styles. Who needs to have a house style? Well, I mean, if you're doing a bunch of Disney books, well, yes, they have to be on what's it called? On the the way that they look. What's the stupid sheets that we get when we're
turnarounds? Characters.
They gotta So right. Yeah. So if you're drawing a Disney adventure book, well, they've got to look right. If you're they all got to be the same. It's got to be at that point you're hired to all the stuff, but it's still they've got to be on. Okay, I forgot what it's called. Somebody help me. Rob knows. Model. There it is on model. Thank you. I'm telling you, I'm bad today. I don't know what the problem is. The heat from yesterday. I wrote yesterday. I think it's fried my brain.
This is funny here.
On model.
On model. Rob said, "Oh no, hold on." Rob says, "I used to have a mirror at my drawing table until I got." Got down drawing by hand. So
everybody had a beard.
So we used to. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We used to have a friend, and I won't call his name out, we used to have a friend, and he had a mirror there, and we used to always joke, yeah, he's got a mirror on it. This is why all of his faces are so ugly.
Oh, that's true. I mean, you've seen me. What I was drawing something for. What was I drawing at the show the other day? And I was trying to figure out how to draw a picture. I'm like, I took a picture of my hand doing this so I could see what my hand looked like, because I just couldn't imagine. Every time I drew it, it just looked like garbage. And I'm like, well, let me here. Take a picture of me doing this so I can draw it.
Yeah.
And then I didn't like it anyway, so I drew something else.
Yeah. Oh, is that the thing that you were doing, Superman for Jose?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No, it was Mixoplex or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And I was I was trying to do that motion, and it's really hard to draw. I bet Rob can do it.
Yeah.
But to make
part of it, I think you got to have that thumb up, and then there's usually the snap. You have to have the sound effect with it, and then that makes sense, right? I think.
Yeah. So I just made him do this.
And this is where I would argue.
I drew something else.
This is where I would argue with somebody who we used to work with here. The sound effects are important. They're vital to a comic book because there's no sound, right? A comic book does not have actual sound, and if you don't have sound effects in at all, right, you're causing your reader to miss out on things in your story, right? If you got somebody doing that, you'd have no idea what they're doing.
It's just a hand frozen.
It's just a hand. It's like, what's it? It looks like they're pointing. Hey, go that way.
Read that next panel. No, we have one of our mutual friends would put crazy sound effects in everywhere. Kick,
I love it.
slap, pound,
I love those.
Smack, whack. He would just make up stuff. It's like, well, this sounds like slurp.
Well, and he had one of my favorites is
I loved it.
For in one book there was a punch and it was stick, right? Stick. And then like 2 or 3 pages over there was a very similar punch and it was stick 2.
Stick 2. Why not?
All right, Rob, here's how you mix piddle pickle mix pickle piddle mix piddle. Okay.
If you say so.
Kaboom!
Kaboom! There you go. Love sound effects.
Rob says he had his mirror so I could draw a right hand since I'm right-handed. Yeah, you can't draw your right hand.
Well, you got to take a picture of yourself. Or I'll get Renee and I'll say, Renee, come here. And she's like, what? I'm like, do this. And she's like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, stand there. Let me take a picture.
Right. Yeah. You're like, I need it for reference.
I can't figure this out. She goes, I thought you've been working in comics forever. I'm like, yeah, but I suck. Stand there. Let me take a picture.
I need models.
I need a model.
And while you're at it, please disrobe. It's your wife. I can say that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Vic says, did Malibu have a house style? No, Malibu did not have a house style.
No, it was all over the place, too.
Yeah, Malibu. I
think it had not Malibu, but the Ultraverse had a coloring style that most
very much so.
Looked which we I was gonna say Silverline does too, but it doesn't.
No, not really. Yeah. And that's okay. One of the things I might say, trying to think a little bit, that the closest thing that Silverline has to a house style would be the sort of cat and mouse world, right? So there's cat and mouse. The champion of Miss Fury, the Switchblade, and those interconnected stories might be pretty similar, but they're not that similar. But yeah. So
black ink on the pages. Is that a style?
Yeah, right. Rob says that was before digital photos. I had to take the film to the store for development.
Oh no! You had to tell your editor, this is going to take 3 weeks before I can draw this hand. So give me a minute. And
we used to use those little. I don't know if y'all used them. We used to use those little mail-in things, right? I can't remember, Kodak maybe. You
Where
put
you
your
dropped them in those booths. You remember that?
yes,
Yeah.
the 24-hour turnaround
Yes.
things they
Yeah.
developed in there. Yeah, we had a little. I can't remember.
Do you believe that they used to develop photos in those booths out in the parking lots?
I
Isn't that
know.
crazy? That was
Yeah,
what we used to do. Some weird stuff. Didn't we?
drive-through photos. You just
Mhm.
drive up, drop it off, and the next day come back around, drive up, and pick it up. We used to mail ours in 1 hour photos. Yeah, I remember those. Yeah, there were 1 hour photos. It's like, how can they do that so quickly like that? What's up, Gabby?
Everybody's looking at you, Miss Gabby. Say hello. Gabby's our house dog. She's our
House style.
Yeah, our house style puppy.
She's like, yeah, I don't really
She's
want
looking at her
to
mom.
be here. Oh, is that Renee over there?
Renee's standing right over there.
Yeah. She's like, I don't really want to be here. Why are you holding me like
Okay,
this?
go.
Yeah.
Give me some food.
Polaroids. Yeah, Polaroids are still around. I actually saw somebody using a
yeah, that's
Polaroid
true.
not too
You could
long
do
ago.
that. I wonder
Yeah.
if that was Rob. Did you use a lot of Polaroids when you needed, back when we didn't have the digital camera stuff? Did you do the Polaroids? That wasn't a thing for me. But, mostly when my earlier days was just inking, so I wasn't really drawing a whole lot of stuff.
If I remember correctly, I think Lorraine Haynes, who befriended us, I want to say she had a Polaroid that she would frequently use to take
like a
reference.
Rolodex of Polaroids. You flip.
Yeah, I think so. She had a whole bunch of them.
Rolodex. Ooh.
Rolodex. Yeah.
Rolodex.
Yeah. Vic says, I don't understand this stuff back in the 1900s.
Shut up.
All right. Well,
needs to come down to get with your parents and you guys make a trip into Daytona in October so we can all hang out.
That's right, Vic.
Make it a Disney trip and then you can swing by the show.
Yeah.
Tell your parents they need to go to Disney.
And then they can drop you off, or you can or they can come too, right?
Yeah.
What? Listen to this. Oh my gosh. Man. Rob, I actually had a dark room for black and white film, but it could get expensive for the chemicals. Wow. That's kind of cool, Rob. Yeah.
I believe him too.
Yeah, me too. When I first started working in the newspaper, when I left comics, they still had a dark room, and it was used about. I caught them at the tail end. I started there at the tail end of some were still using the film, but most were digital. And so I came in all digital, right? But I'm like, why do we have a dark room? Oh, we still have, some that do the dark. What? By the time I'd been there, a few months, we stopped. We got rid of that. It was just partly it was too expensive and too timely, right? It's like we don't have time. Go out, use it. Here's a digital camera. Go out and we bought digital cameras, and so it's like here's a flash card. Go take pictures. You ain't got to develop nothing. Just bring me back the little card. I'll give you another card, and then you're good, right? Yeah. Vic, I'm getting lured into Florida by old comic creating men.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Never mind. That's right. He's underage. We didn't say come to Florida. Don't cross states. Nobody mentioned anything like that. You stay home. You stay home. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That sounds like a good note to call it a night. My clock here says 9:31, so we've been here for an hour and a half. So I don't have my calendar up. Tommy, where are you going to be next?
I have no idea.
Let me pull up my calendar so I can help you out a little bit.
Do we? Well, I know we're going to be. We're talking about the Pikeville, not Starkville. Pikeville.
Yeah.
But I don't know of anything.
Pikeville will be August the 26th. Yeah. So August the 26th. So I will be. I'm going to be at this one day, first time ever. I think it's the first time ever. Rise of the Phoenix, Saturday, July 16th. July 15th. Rise of the Phoenix Comic and Toy Fest. So I will be there 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It is in Deltona.
Oh.
So I'm looking forward to that. Always fun to add a new show. Yeah, and then the next thing on the calendar is Pikeville, and looks like it's going to be me and you and Barry and Jose. That's all I've got confirmed so far. So, and of course, Mike Belcher will be there, and I think I'm pretty sure his son Aiden will be there.
Yeah,
and we're gonna have Mike tells me he's gonna put us in a neat little Silverline area. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, of course, immediately after August, there is September 9th and 10th, Daytona Beach Comic Con. So, all right, you guys, don't forget to camera got blurry. Don't forget to go back to Kickstarter. There's 7 days.
How many more days? 7?
7 days. Going to end about this time next week. So still plenty of goodness for you to get there. And don't worry if you did not have the first issue, you can always get it on the Kickstarter, right? And hold on, let me get my banner here. Let me get my banner here. Where's it at? No. All this stuff is open. Until next time, remember to make mine Silverline. All right. Good night, everyone. Where is the stop?
It's spilling all over me.
Stream in.
Hi, I'm Bill Black. I created FemForce. But you know what? Today, make mine Silverline.